Hello there, welcome to the latest data radio show. I'm still not feeling 100%, so I'm going to do the same trick we did last week where we pulled an interview out to learn a little bit more about something exciting. This week, Sam is going to sit down and have another chat with Shung Lan, the chief data scientist from Tech Data. And they're going to talk about generative AI moving beyond simple process automation. And they use a use case here around internal HR assistants, where the data that gets created is based on a whole bunch of rules that are set in place by the HR department, and how that can become much more interactive in creating data that's actually adaptable and usable for people at the receiving end of it. So let's jump straight in. I'll leave it over to Sam and Shung, and they'll be able to guide you through absolutely everything that's going on.
So in today's use case, we want to highlight how generative AI is providing an opportunity to go beyond process automation. This is an example of an HR assistant that enables the answering of routine questions around internal HR policies and entitlements. Historically, this might be information provided to you by a portal or some sort of support desk. What we're going to see with generative AI is the ability to go beyond pure information access. It's possible to interact with the data to provide real-time calculations and estimates, along with the possibility of interactive modeling different scenarios in conversation with the GPT. So that means that you can make a choice based on some of those modeled scenarios, just as you might do in conversation with somebody else. This is an emerging class of applications that's enabling greater autonomy versus just pure process automation, meaning that the workforce can interact with data sets, policies, and procedures to autonomously work out how they might make the best choice for their current set of circumstances. So, Shung, give us a brief introduction to foundation models or large language models.
Yeah, for foundation model is like a broader concept. For example, ChatGPT is part of this foundation model. I think to compare the foundation model at our traditional machine learning or AI models, the biggest difference is it significantly changed the way we develop AI models. So before, for a specific task, we needed to collect massive data. For example, we do sentiment analysis, we do this entity extraction, do text classification. All these three tasks, we need a specific massive training data to train the model to do that. But with foundation model, we can use that as literally as good solid foundation for almost any data format. And for this, all the different tasks, we just use one foundation model and use some fine tune to deliver the project. That benefit will be fast to deployment and also give us equal or even better performance. So that is the foundation model and how change the AI model development.
So thinking about that, Shung, on the left here, you've got your traditional models where it appears to be a sort of linear relationship between training and tasks. Is that fair to say?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And then on the right-hand side, you've got just walk us through how it works in this scenario.
Yeah, on this first side, foundation model side. So as a input, we can see there can be different data format. Can be structured data, code data, or video, music, audio data. So all this data can fit into this foundation model. And from here, the foundation model, we have two ways to use this to make it adjustment for our specific task. One is we call prompting, similar to how we interact with ChatGPT. We ask questions, we got answers from the data. The other way will be for more complex tasks like code generation, or we need to handle some video recognition or computer vision capability. That will need us to do some fine tuning. That will need a relatively small set of training data, labeled data, to modify the foundation model, then give us response. So that is the second way to use this foundation model. But overall, you can say this is based on this foundation model instead of many different models for a specific task.
Great. I think that well, at least it makes sense to me. So, being more of a layman than yourself. So I guess we've seen that foundation models such as ChatGPT or generative AI have significantly changed the way we build AI applications. So you don't need to. I'm reading your script. I got myself confused there. So I think you've actually said that. Right. So we're going to talk about hallucinations. So one of the things that comes up quite often, Shung, is this issue around hallucinations and generative AI. So talk us through what is an hallucination. Yep. And I understand that there might be some scenarios where a hallucination is actually a good thing, not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah. So for hallucination, in simple term, is this generative AI responds the content seems right, but it's not fact based. So basically, it's wrong. For example, maybe you ask ChatGPT write your LinkedIn profile. It will give you a great background, great education background, but actually maybe that is not all the experience is your experience. So that is like hallucination. Another point here is this is a fact based. If we want some answer is a fact based and we make decision on that fact, the hallucination is not good. We don't want we try to reduce hallucination in that scenario. But the other scenario, maybe we look into hallucinations, maybe the need for art, for creative. So that part we will see hallucination as a feature instead of a disadvantage to do this task. And in business scenario, most case we need the answer is accurate and based on the fact, since we need to make decisions to run our business. So in more enterprise use case, we try to reduce hallucination and also try to provide more transparency to give to let the users know what really happened at the back end, how you generate this response to make generative AI more useful or more benefit for your business.
Excellent. So I guess this is probably as good a place as any to start talking about the actual use case. Let me bring that up. So I think this is the right thing. Yeah.
Yes. So for this use case, we use this HR assistant as an example. And as we mentioned, there's a hallucination and a lack of transparency when we use generative AI. So in this use case, we use a framework called RAG, which is Retrieval Augment Generative. Basically, we provide the context to model and ask the model to generate response based on the data we provided instead of use this out-of-the-box data within large language model. The other thing we have here is we give generative AI some tool like do the math calculation and also to do some data manipulation to connect with a data file or connect the database to actually get the real data instead of the fake data. So here we can see on the screen that on the right side is our UI for the chatbot. And on the left side will be the data we provided. Here is this employee data. We have employee ID, employee name, and other information. The bottom left, here is this HR policy. So for now, it's a TXT file. We have all this internal policy. Then we will go to our first questions here. So our first question, we were asking, my name is just general HR questions. We were asking, what is my employee ID? And of course, I will give my name. Then we can see here is where we know the chatbot do this reasoning step. So we can see more detail after we break down this reasoning step. The chatbot is smart enough to know, okay, in order to get my employee ID, I will need to search the employee data. So it generated a Python script to do this. And then run this Python script, automatically get this employee ID, which is 1005678. Then we can have a quick check. On the right side, we have, if we can go to this Excel, find this Richard Santos, and we can see the data is 1005678 as well. So that's good. That means the chatbot responds accurate employee ID. Then the second question we're asking is how many vacations do I have left? So similar idea here. The chatbot will go to search the employee data to get this vacation left, which is 5 days, as we can see in the CSV file. Then we go to the third question. This time we'll see more HR policy side. The question is, can I encash my unused leave? The chatbot will be smart enough to know, okay, to answer this question, I need to search this HR policy. If we do manual search in this TXT file, we can see here is an encashment policy, and we're expecting the answer is yes. And also we got this yes answer. The last question we'll try is say if the chatbot can do some calculation based on the information. The question is how much I will get paid if I encash my unused leave. Based on the previous response, we know we need to divide this basic salary by 30 days, then multiply the number of unused leave. Then we similarly, we break down the information. We know the basic salary is 6,000. Then we divide by 30 and multiply 5. That gave us 1,000. That is how the chatbot uses information from this HR policy and do the calculation. And also, this view is for end user view. We don't need to show all that reasoning step. That is just for demo purpose, and also gave us the option to audit the response. Sam, this is end for this demo. Any questions or comments?
I guess what I'm curious about in all of this, Shung, is what are some of the differences between the old models and the new models in terms of how you pull something like this together?
So for this, main difference here is compared. I did a similar project, HR assistant, when I was a consultant in the US. So the idea is the same, to answer HR questions, and we have a team specialized on different skills. Like we have a software developer, we have this dialogue flow designer, and also we have this business analyst to design the dialogue flow. For that, it take us 16 weeks. But for now, with this generative AI, I think generative AI can kind of like to help the team with less resource, since generative AI or large language model already have the equal or even better skills for design this dialogue flow or identify the user intention. With that large language model, the team is actually be more capable to deliver this with less time. So we are seeing a 75% reduction on time to deliver, and even better output. Before we have all this scope, like up to 5 journey for this one, but with large language model, theoretically we can answer any questions from employee as long as that in HR policy and that is in the employee data. So that will give us better performance and with less effort.
Right, marvelous. I guess my last question relates to so we're seeing significant reductions in how long it takes to deliver value.
Yep.
But going beyond just pure productivity benefits, how do you see generative AI actually changing the nature of work and the nature of workflows? And I guess there's some hint of this in relation to this HR assistant, where it's moving from just a pure automation based on a decision tree to
Yep.
something more cognitively capable, delivering up employees greater autonomy in the workplace.
Yeah, I think for two perspective. One perspective is maybe from myself as a developer. This only take me 2 days to do this entire demo. But before I may need some business analyst help me to define this conversation flow, how to navigate users go through this journey. I may need some other developer help me to use this text classification to do this. But now with large language model, I think I'm become more capable to do this with myself, of course, with the assistant from generative AI. The other side will be the user who consuming this application, which is definitely more cognitive, more intelligent. And we all have the experience that chatbot doesn't understand what you are saying. But with this one, is I think will be a matter of, is this answer relevant to me? His answer is based on my data instead of does the chatbot understand my question? So it's a more opportunities, more capable for AI to help people to get HR inquiry instead of days, just minutes.
And I guess there's the opportunity to model different scenarios too, interactively. I think that's one of the use cases that I'm seeing emerge is scenarios where you need to be able to role play or learn about policies and quiz people. So that there's, I guess, an example is in education, but we're talking about workplace education. So in a situation where you maybe need to role play a particular thing like an HR dispute of some sort, or learn about sales and the sales process. That's an emerging scenario that I'm seeing for these generative AI agents.
Yeah, again, back to the business scenario. Even for people, we are specialized for some skills like marketing, sales, developing. For if we want to use AI or generative AI in our daily work, we need specialized AI to better support us instead of the just AI general on everything, but not good or specialized on a specific area.
Yeah, I guess we're seeing them move quite rapidly from being just a toy or an amusement to actually something that becomes useful.
Yep.
All right, that's marvelous. Well, thanks so much for your time today, Sean.
Yeah, thank you. Glad to be here.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to this week's Data Radio Show. Don't forget, it's free to tell everybody about this. You can like, share, subscribe, and it doesn't cost you a thing. If you want something else that's also free, you can go and check out our new online community over in school. There'll be a link down in the description below. It's completely free to come and join. It's designed really specifically with data management in mind to help people who might be just starting on their career or who are a little bit further down their path. There's a whole bunch of games and lessons and courses and all sorts of things that you can get involved in. You can collect points as you go along, level up. Who doesn't love to level up? And it's all completely free, now available online in the link that is down in the description. Don't forget again to join us next week, but until then, have a fantastic week, and may the force be with you.